Hey guys, this is the Dark Passenger, and I'm just here to talk about Rocky 2. Yeah, I just got this on Blu-ray, and I just rewatched it. You know, this came out in 1979. It stars Sylvester Stallone. Also was written and directed by him. So yeah, in this one, it's basically, in the beginning, it starts with basically shows the outcome of his first fight with Apollo Creed. So yeah, and then after the fight, it's a split decision. He, Apollo Creed won on points, but Rocky, he went the distance and kind of beat him in the fight, I guess. Yeah, so that's the disc right there as well. But yeah, basically this is, later on he retires. Later on in the movie, he gets out of hospital. He retires, because he was pretty beat up after the fight. Then, but Apollo Creed told him at first there wouldn't be a rematch, and then he ended up calling him out for a rematch anyway. So yeah, but Rocky at first he didn't really take him up on it, but then he starts to think, well, maybe he should fight Apollo again. And his wife, Adrian, played by Talia Shire, she tries to discourage him. Well, she tells him, don't do it, it's not a good idea. But he tells her, he's a fighter, it's what he does, and he has to do it. So him and Mickey, they end up doing it. At first he's not training too hard because he knows that Adrian doesn't want him to do it. But then, she ends up sick and in a coma, and when she comes out of it, she tells him, just do it, win, do everything you can to win. And that's when he started training his hardest. So yeah, this movie is, it's amazing. It's really great in my opinion. It's definitely one of my favorites in this franchise. It's just such an inspirational movie. And also, there's Burt Young, as Paulie in this. His Rocky's friend. Well, and now he's brother-in-law because they got married. Adrian and Rocky got married in this one at the beginning of the movie. It just shows their wedding. It shows how he proposed and then their wedding pretty much right after he gets out of the hospital. And the reason that Adrian didn't want him to do it was because of his eye. That's why she didn't want him to do it, because he was pretty beat up after the fight and his eye was pretty messed up. But yeah, in this one, this is a spoiler for those of you who haven't seen it, but he ends up winning in this one. He wins the title. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but yeah, he ends up winning. He goes the distance and ends up winning. In the first one, he just goes the distance, but in this one he goes the distance and wins the title, which it's always awesome to see. I know every time I watch this, I know how it's going to end, but it's still amazing to see how he does it. He kind of, at first he fights right-handed kind of, and then he switches back to his natural position, to his original position, which is southpaw. You know, that's his position. He's a left-handed fighter. So he kind of switched it up on Apollo to beat him and win the title. And that's probably my favorite scene, you know, my favorite scene in the movie, that ending scene. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, I definitely say check it out. You know, Rocky 2 is definitely one of my favorite movies ever, I'd say. That's pretty much all I've got to say. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Stay tuned for more reviews. You know, DVD updates. Peace.